everybody, it's Heather with South Shore Industry Night, and I wanted to remind you that we've got our first ever Senior Service Industry Night for the South Shore area. So excited. Coming up on Wednesday, June 26th from 4:30 to 6:30 at Features Gastro Pub. It's over at the big movie theater off of Gibsonton Drive. It's going to be easy access off of 75 in either direction. If you're not there, it's going to be a big mistake. It's going to be the best party you've ever seen. I'm in charge of it. With me today is one of my fabulous sponsors, and I gotta say I love all my sponsors, but this one I'm probably more fond of than most because I used to work for this lady. So this is Janice Bayruns. She's one of the owners of FirstLight HomeCare. I'm actually filming this with her from her offices in Riverview, and it feels like coming home in a way.
Man, it's so nice to have you here. Gosh, I miss you, girl.
I know, we had some good times here, we really did. So, first of all, thanks so much for you guys being a sponsor in this. It's going to be so much fun, and I think we've got a really cohesive group. But so for those of the people that are watching here, tell us about FirstLight. What makes you unique in the marketplace and what you do with private duty?
So first, I do want to say, Heather, that you were such a joy to work with. I miss you so much. You brought such amazing breath of fresh air to the industry, and we're in such a serious industry. You have to look at the humor in things, and you really knew how to bring that to the table to our clients and to our healthcare partners out there. So really appreciated working with you.
You want to be paid once, or just a solid 10 will do? I didn't even ask for that, but I love it. I love it. You know I love compliments. So yeah, tell us a little bit about it. I mean, of course, I know it because I was living and breathing it for a while with you in the trenches, and that was so much fun. But tell them a little bit about FirstLight.
So FirstLight HomeCare provides private duty non-medical care in the home, and that sounds a little bit like a technical term, but what we really do is improve the quality of life for people who need extra care at home, who want to live and who want to continue to stay at home, either whether that's in an assisted living or whether they're living in a skilled nursing facility, and what's called age in place.
It's huge. Those are buzzwords right now, for sure. So what makes you guys a little unique? I mean, because obviously, I don't have to tell you, you've got a lot of competitors, right? There's a lot of private duty places. So what makes FirstLight different?
So there's actually a lot of things that make us different. First of all, we have what's called our culture of care. We really care about not only our clients, but our caregivers as well. And it's what we live and breathe here at FirstLight. All of our caregivers are direct employees. They're not independent contractors. And that makes a huge difference in the quality of employee, the management of the care delivery and the service delivery. And we're really passionate and compassionate about what we do here.
Now, obviously, most of the people that are going to be attending this are senior service professionals, but earlier you were telling me it's not just seniors you serve. You guys also serve other people as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients who are developmentally disabled. You've got a parent who's taking care of a child who is now an adult and needs that extra care at home. A big part of who we actually serve is that adult children who's taking care of their parent or their grandparent. I mean, let's face it, we all have parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, family who are aging, and somebody's got to take care of them. It usually falls onto that adult child who's trying to juggle their work, their kids, their home life, their husband.
Thing they're talking about.
You got it. It is totally the sandwich generation, and it's a tough job.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, having to take care of, like you have your job, you have your home with your own husband and children, and now you've got to take care of an elderly parent too. And of course, we've seen those people so many times. It's heartbreaking to see that. But another thing that I love about private duty care, and I think it's important for people to understand, is it's not always about having to come in and doing activities of daily living and that kind of thing. It benefits so many seniors just to have somebody coming in on a regular basis every week to do that social interaction, and especially people that might have a mild cognitive impairment, because dementia and depression go hand in hand. There's a high correlation with that. Just being able to have somebody that they can socialize with and interact, and even maybe somebody that will cue them to get out a little bit more, to do a little more walking, or to eat a little healthier. And you guys cover all that stuff.
We do. We have this really great campaign going on right now that focuses on the fact that we don't just do bathing and dressing, and those are really important aspects of what we do, but we're also, our caregivers are friends, they're photographers, we play backgammon, we take them out to the park, we take them shopping, into the beauty salon. There's so much that our caregivers do and are besides somebody who's just giving a bath.
You know, and that makes me think about it too. I remember when I was with you, we had a caregiver that took a guy out fishing. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what he wanted to do, is he
Yeah.
wanted somebody to take him fishing, and we had a male caregiver that took him out for fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you get creative about this, about getting the services, and I think it's pretty reasonable sometimes to get these services depending on the level of care, right? So, the more care they need, the more expensive it can be, or explain some of the care costs a little bit.
Yeah, the more care that someone needs, typically the cost goes down just a little bit. But everybody's different. We do a personalized assessment on every client before we start care. And one of the things that's really important to us, Heather, is that caregiver matching. We really look to match up just the right caregiver with that client.
That's crucial.
In terms of personality, in terms of the types of interests that they have, in addition to the type of care that they need.
Right. What got you into this? Because I mean, this isn't an easy business to be in, and I know that it's not just a business for you that's generating an income. This is like your passion. She lives and breathes it, sometimes to the point where it drives me crazy because I worry about her. But what made you decide to go into doing private duty home care?
Yeah, it's been a real journey for me. I've been in healthcare for 30 years in various different aspects. And when I was in my 30s and my dad was 62 years old, he had a massive stroke and he was completely paralyzed, had to rehabilitate to the point where he learned how to dress and how to do his own activities of daily living, but he never fully recovered from that and needed constant ongoing care or supervision, different levels at different points in his life. But for 19 years, I was his caregiver and worked diligently at giving him the highest quality of life possible, considering the disabilities that he was left with after that stroke. So when that happened to me, there was no book for here's how to be a caregiver.
Right.
We didn't have all the resources that we have now. And so it was learning by experience. And if there's anything that I can do to help another adult family caregiver who's taking care of that parent, if there's anything I can do to help them navigate that crazy maze of what to do when you're in crisis mode, then that's the reason I got into this business.
Well, I think too, it gives you a really unique perspective, like you said, because not only were you the adult child taking care of your father, but obviously you were depending on caregiving companies during that time as well. So you got to see when it was done well and where there are like room for improvement situations, right? So now as an owner, I'm sure that makes you a little more hypersensitive to those kind of things.
I saw it all, and I tried it all. I tried all the different models of home care companies out there. I even hired direct, which was disaster. I hired someone who then went to the bank and tried to open up a bank account, another bank account with my dad. Fortunately, my dad knew what was going on, so I was able to intervene. But the fraud and abuse of the elderly is just rampant, and my caregivers are all level 2 background checked, they're drug tested, they're trained, they have ongoing supervision. We don't just hire someone and have them go in the home. We have RNs who supervise the whole process every step of the way. We're in constant communication with the clients, and the caregivers are constantly supervised.
Now, and you know, my passion, and I think yours too, is dementia. Of any aspect of senior services, I think we always have that connection to memory care clients. How do you specialize or cater to memory care clients as far as the training of your people?
Yeah, so there's various levels of different levels of training that our caregivers have. Some of them have more advanced level dementia training, and some of them have less. But again, we always look to match up the caregiver with the client in terms of what the client's needs are. But dementia is probably our number one diagnosis type of service request. It's the population's aging. There's, I think, 1 in 4 people that eventually get dementia as they age, and so it's a huge request. And with people wanting to be able to stay home and age in place, the folks with dementia need that help.
You know, and it's funny, not funny, but I was at an event last night talking to an adult son whose dad has dementia, not diagnosed yet. And the son is my age, so 50s if I have to share it. I know you thought I was not a day over 35, but just about 20 years over that. And but he was talking about how he's exhausted and he's exasperated. And I said, you need to get private duty care in there to try to help. And if it gets to a point where that's not going to work anymore, you're going to have to find a community. And he said, there's no way that he's going to allow anybody in the house. You know, he refuses to have anyone in his home. He doesn't want anybody helping him in the bathroom, not even me. He's just, you know, we know this profile, ex-military, and you know. So I thought about that, and I thought, you know, I remember those were some of the toughest cases, and those are the people that need it the most, you know. But what's great about having all that experience, both on the side of your dad and doing this for so many years, is you pick up tips and tricks and ways to kind of make it work. Because I know we had a lot of scenarios like that where the adult children hired our services, and the actual person that was getting the services didn't want it, didn't know about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's sticky.
The caregivers are trained to deal with those exact situations. So don't ever let that deter you from thinking, okay, I'm going to reach out and try to get some help, because those are all known manifestations of dementia, and there are ways to get around all of those. And sometimes we're introduced as the son or daughter's friend, and that works.
That's actually how I got in the door one day, is the adult daughter called us in crisis mode about mom and dad, and she goes, but you know, if I have you come over, who am I going to say you are? They don't want strangers in the house or anything. And I said, tell them that you found me, long lost college buddy. You know, now the funny part of that story is she was about 20 years older than me. And she said, oh, they're not going to believe that. And I said, they've got dementia, love. They're not going to even get it. And they didn't. The mother was like, oh, come in, Karen. I remember her talking about you. That's all it took, you know? And it was smooth. So yeah, we have to do what we call in the industry therapeutic fibbing sometimes to do the things that need to be done to help the client at the end of the day. So this has been fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
But so at the end of these, if you've watched any of these videos, at the end of it, I always ask the person that I'm interviewing, give us a little, I like to connect people. So when people show up for Senior Service Industry Night and they see you standing there as one of the sponsors, I want them to be able to connect on a personal level with you and go, oh, I remember she said she's into this or she's done that. It's always a good way to just make it more personal and not so business-like. So what's a fun fact about you that people wouldn't maybe know about?
Well, I do have to tell you this, being a caregiver for so long, you have to maintain your identity and your hobbies and the things that you love. It's so important with your family, with your husband, with your kids. All those things really need to be nurtured and kept intact. But there are 3 things that really helped me to survive caregiving. And the first one was realizing that I did need to reach out for help. I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to do it all myself. I wanted to be Superwoman. I thought I could, and you just can't. It's just impossible to do it all yourself. The second one was having a sense of humor. I mean, gosh knows, my dad and I laughed at some of the most inappropriate things, but we both thought it was funny. Sometimes people would be looking at us like, what the heck are you laughing about?
Yep.
And we laughed and laughed. And then the third one for me was wine. I had to have my wine.
Love it.
So much so that I just recently got a wine certification, and I'm one of those sort of immersion junkies. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to really go for it. So I love my wine.
Was that a tough thing to take the test?
Yeah, it took a year of study.
Wow.
Intensive study, and I'm a certified specialist of wine through the Society of Wine Educators.
That is really,
Yeah.
really cool.
It was fun.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And that makes her a snob. So in other words, don't be drinking barefoot around her. Don't even go there. I already knew that about her though already. Well, this has been great. It's
been
a
awesome.
lot of fun. And I am really looking forward to you guys joining me. You're going to learn through these videos. I kind of handpicked my sponsors, and they're all in their own unique way, just a whole lot of fun, and they're passionate about their industries, and that's what it's all about. So you need to come out if you have friends or co-workers in senior services.
It's going to be great.
We want you to come out and join us on June 26th. It's a Wednesday night, so it's going to be a hump day celebration. 4:30 to 6:30. They're rolling out the red carpet there. The first 50 drinks are free thanks to the sponsors, so we really appreciate that.
Great food.
Great food and great networking. Take advantage of this. You're going to meet more people here than you would going out there and hitting the streets for 2 weeks. So don't tell your boss, but come and get all those contacts in, because this is going to be worth your while. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
You're awesome. Thanks.
All right, you're awesome too. And you guys are awesome. We're going to see you in a few weeks. Thanks for joining us. Bye.